What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I got a fun video today. Finally made it out to the famous MotorWorld in Munich, Germany. Had an opportunity to head out to Munich and visit the area. While I was out there, not only took in the nice views and the culture, and after a couple of beers and some pretzels, we're able to head over to the famous MotorWorld. One of the most fascinating things about this is that MotorWorld was at one point a large automotive industrial space that was used to maintenance many of the cars and the locomotives. It is now a very famous museum, one of the many that are around the world that include not only storage but maintenance of very high-end cars. So let's jump on into it and show you what we got. Now, one of the things, I know this is some older footage of when I went out to Germany, but the reality is people have been asking for it. So due to bad audio, I'm going to be doing a voiceover for the majority of it, which is all good. So as you can see here, it's a massive facility that as you walk up, it's a bit overwhelming and kind of in the middle of town. But as you start walking towards the entrance, you see this underground parking location where you can store cars. Not only is it a museum, not only does it have car storage above and underground, but it's also a hotel. So at any point, you can stay here and watch some of the events live. They have a convention center where you can rent out. There are so many features to this place that I guarantee it's worth a visit. So my goal is to try and attend this anytime I'm out there in the area for the different launches and anything else they may have going. So let's see what else they got going on. Immediately as you start walking up, you got a nice BMW just parked in the parking lot, Mercedes. And down in the distance, I just happened to hear a car turn on. So I went over to the open trailer just to kind of peek around the corner. And sure enough, they're unloading this nice McLaren there. A little bit later on in the video, you'll actually see some of the cool stuff about this museum, because one of the things it's known for is that it's actually a service center for McLaren, which just blew my mind. But yeah, so we got to see him unload here. We stayed talking with the guy, real nice. And as soon as we walk in, this is what it looked like. Huge place. And one of the key features is that this museum, they change it up. So most of the stuff that you do see, it won't be like this in another year or so. And they try and curate this according to whatever's around at the time. And from my understanding, this is actually one of the most recent updates to this. So a lot of cool stuff. You look down one way, you just have random cars that are there part of the museum. Look down the other way and you have nothing but McLarens lined up, but we'll get to that in just a second. As you can see, there's quite the variety. They have this sweet Mercedes with the awesome wrap on it. They have a 32 window bus. And then they had this classic car. I just couldn't believe it. I've always seen a lot of images of this type of car, and this one's fairly pristine. I know it's not 100% original, but I do know that it was well done. The car is just immaculate, and I was stood there just drooling over it. But one of the reasons for the visit was I had to come by and see the Fast and the Furious skyline that they had on display here. This is one of the cars from the movie, and it just happened that they were showcasing it as part of the museum. So why not take the chance to come over here and appreciate that this car is out on display. And we got some cool literature to go with it from the visit. So yeah, it's a good throwback to the whole Fast and the Furious franchise. And it's not every day you get to see some of these cars just out in the museums. So now that we got over to the other end of the museum, this is where we start to see that there's a lot of money floating around in here. They actually have a Bugatti dealership in this museum. What I'm showing you here is a classic Bugatti that somewhere in the millions of dollars. I don't have an exact amount, but I'll tell you what, this is one of the original cars that's been restored. Beautiful. And now we have the Bugatti Chiron. I've been looking to try and see if I can catch one of these cars for the longest time. 100% carbon fiber, multi-million-dollar price tag. It's just amazing to see in person. So luckily we were able to go up to it. Couldn't really get behind the rope because couldn't afford to be there. However, the guys were nice enough to let us kind of be around the area. Now, as you step out of there, you just see this long row of McLarens. Yes, there is a McLaren dealership in the museum. So now if we turn around and look over here, you kind of see some of the other cars that are just back in the area. But believe it or not, this is a service location for the McLaren. So I wouldn't doubt it if these are some customer cars, but at the same time, they're often nice to see, and the majority of them are on sale. So if you're looking for McLaren, great place to be. Now in the back over here, we actually found a few race cars, and this is kind of where I started getting pumped about seeing some of these. We have this Lexus. We got some just touring the facility with me, and it's hard to believe that they have some of these cool cars out here. Right behind this, there was a Porsche that just absolutely fell in love with. This is a special edition, full carbon fiber. I think it was a Stinger Porsche. I believe it's a company that you send your Porsche off to, and they do a lot of the customization. One of the unique features of this car was that, yes, the whole body is covered in carbon, but you kind of have a fade from the black into almost a blue carbon, which was just phenomenal. So the work done on this car was just pristine, and definitely one of my favorites from this location. So I'll let you enjoy. Something interesting about this is that I had mentioned earlier that this is a car storage facility, and they have each of these containers that move up and down, and I believe side to side. And there are just a ton of exotic cars, priceless race cars, and just collectors that are storing tons of stuff in here. It was interesting to see that they do just pay a small fee, and they're able to keep the cars there, and then it just kind of becomes part of the museum. Fun fact, if anybody ever did want to go and just leave your car there for a fee, it's temperature controlled, moisture controlled, and just a good place to be. So one of the other fun facts was that we got to see the Mr. Bean. Always a fun little car to kind of see roaming around. And as I had mentioned earlier, as we were up on the mezzanine, you can kind of see that this was an old facility for the maintenance of locomotives, and you can still see the large cranes and things like that. So it was just an awesome experience. I think the last piece of footage that I had here was me going to the bathroom, and you can see that they even decorated all that accordingly. And overall, just a great experience. Wouldn't have any other way, and I'm looking forward to going back for the next round of the changes, and hopefully within the next year I should have another video. So I'll let you enjoy. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.